Mr. Rosenberg, just want to confirm, we've heard a number of issues. I just want to confirm one point with respect to Alexander Trudeau. Your evidence is, to the best of your recollection, without referring to any of the documentation you had before you, that Alexander Trudeau was only instrumental in negotiating one contract for the Trudeau Foundation, yes or no?
To the best of my recollection, yes.
Thank you. Following up on Mr. Green's last question to you, I'm not satisfied with your response that it was close to my departure. That payment was due July the 1st, correct? Pursuant to the contract?
I'd have to look at the contract, but I'm assuming it was.
First payment 2016, second payment 2017, third payment?
I'd have to look at the contract.
Right.
To see.
Okay. Now, you also interviewed with Vashi Kapelis on CTV Question Period some time ago, and you were quoted as saying that if the situation existed today, in hindsight, looking at it from a 2023 perspective, not a 2016 perspective, you would not have accepted donation. I think there would have been a different decision made for sure. Do you stand by that statement?
Yeah, as I said.
Thank you. You'd agree with me, being a DM of Foreign Affairs, the very issue of foreign election interference was very much on the radar map in 2016, as it certainly is in 2023.
I would say only after the U.S. election.
I think you also appreciate, sir, that there has been a number of articles, a number of interviews that have been given by a number of entities that have severely questioned your integrity and your character with respect to your handling of this particular donation, and you being instrumental in preparing the report sent to the Prime Minister. Media is asking questions, questioning your integrity and ethics. Canadian politicians are asking the very same question. Canadians are asking that question. Particularly Chinese Canadians are asking that question. And now we find out your former colleagues at the foundation are asking that question. Now, according to you, from all the evidence that I've heard—
which former colleagues?
I'm not going to specify that. What I've heard so far from you today is, notwithstanding everything that is going around this situation, you saw no red flags whatsoever with respect to this donation. Correct?
At the time, that is correct. We actually thought there was no pressure put on us, that the money actually came with no strings attached, and that the issue, the idea of putting on conferences to do with China was actually very attractive.
Thank you, sir. No strings attached and no direct efforts to influence Justin Trudeau, the new Prime Minister of this country. You didn't see any red flags whatsoever.
I did not.
Right?
That's correct.
In fact, you told Vashi you had no reason to think there was anything untoward about the donation. Donations were putting on conferences. Correct?
Correct.
Notwithstanding that at the time, you also knew that there was a report from the Globe and Mail regarding a leaked CSIS source.
At the time, no.
And the CSIS source intercepted a 2014 conversation between Mr. Zhang and an unnamed commercial attaché at one of China's consulates in Canada. They discussed the federal election that was expected to take place in 2015 and the possibility that the Liberals would defeat Stephen Harper's Conservatives and form the next government. The diplomat told Mr. Zhang that Beijing would reimburse him for the entire amount of the donation to the Trudeau Foundation, according to the source. I am gobsmacked beyond belief to listen to you in the role as President and CEO and a former Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs to suggest you knew nothing about CSIS intercepting a very important call. You know CSIS reports to the government on any political interference whatsoever. You know that.
Would you like me to answer?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, the first I ever heard of that was in an article that was published in the Globe and Mail on February 28th of 2023.
No one believes you. Canadians don't believe you, sir. how,
Mr. Chair.
Just,
Sorry.
again, on a point of order, we're
Yes, I'm
like 3
referring to-
seconds left here, Mr. Fergus.
I-